everyone, welcome back. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been on here for a live, and I really first of all want to apologize for that. I knew the last time I was on live that there was a very good chance I would have to cancel the next live, because if you remember at that time my husband was really sick, and so I just knew that that bug was going to catch me. So I had a sneaking feeling that I was going to have to cancel the next week's live, and I did. So it's been 2 weeks. That's been really the hardest thing, I think, since getting on. Hi there. It used to be that I was just terrified to be here on camera in front of everybody, which you can probably tell because I do have a little bit of nerves in my voice, especially when I haven't been on in a while. But now the problem seems to be just keeping healthy consistently so that I can be here every week for the weekly live that I promised you. So I do apologize when I have to skip so many, but I am glad to be back. I am hoping to be well for an extended period of time so that I can be here every week for you. So anyway, so that's kind of what I have actually been doing the last couple weeks. I don't know what you guys have been up to. I'd love to hear about what your projects are, if you have any works in progress, anything like that. I'm about to share mine with you right now. So usually when I start this, I do start with my works in progress. Now, in the last live, I showed you all the works in progress at that time, but I completely skipped over this one. So I'm going to show it to you first so I don't forget it, okay? So this was done 2 weeks ago. So the first thing I did is here, this is a graph that I designed. It is a 4-petal flower, and I did finish it up. It's right here. So I'm going to show you, hold on here, so you can see both. So this is the design. This is it actually crocheted out. So I feel like I did a pretty good job. Now, this does not have a border on it, so it does look like it's a little bit incomplete. And the reason for that is that this is going to be part of a flower cowl. It's a blanket. This is going to go live in February and March. I think mine is in March, but the flower cowl is going to go live in February, and it will be free. This is going to be hosted by my friend Helen of Sunflower Cottage Crochet. So the requirements for this is that each designer is going to do their own flower, like this one, and we can't have a border on it because we're going to seam all these flower squares together, and then there's going to be a big border around the blanket itself. So that's why this looks a little bit, raw on the edges here. However, I do have to say that one of my pattern testers did go ahead and put a border on this when she did hers, and it looks amazing. So I am thinking of going ahead and putting a border on this, mostly just for some Instagram eye candy. All right, so that's the first one I have. If you've been keeping track, I have 4 spring designs that I've been working on. The first one I did finish up, so I'm not going to share that one with you again. I shared that with you last time. My second design is a duster, and I finally have finished it. So hopefully you guys can see this here. All right, that's the front. This is the back. And now what I originally had in mind for this design, and this doesn't fit me, by the way, so if you guys don't actually know me or anything about me, or you're kind of new to what I do here, I don't usually wear my own designs. I usually make these for my daughters, and they are much smaller than I am. So this one is kind of designed to be worn like this, and my initial thought was either do like a belt to go with it, or to have like a little tie that kind of comes this way here. But I have to tell you, when my daughter went to model this, the photos for this are already done. It looked so amazing on her, just open, just as it is. This is the back, y'all. It looked so amazing just as it was that I just decided it was perfect as it was. I just can't wait to show you the photos. She looks absolutely amazing in this, and it was really a great accompaniment to her outfit. She just wore basically jeans, and then she wore like a floral spring top. So this is really, and it looked amazing. This is going to be really a great addition to your spring wardrobe, guys. Okay, so that is the second of my spring projects done. Yay. And then if you were on last time, you did see that I had, hi there, I did have a bunch of squares. These were all different colors. They were done in different stitches. I had some were the seed stitch, some was the bead stitch. They were in different shapes, and I was like, oh, I really want to do something with these squares, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. I thought maybe I'd do a purse, and I decided I was going to redo the squares in We Crochet yarn, in Brava yarn, by the way. And you guys suggested for me to continue using the seed stitch. So I did make those squares, and I want to show you, because I haven't been here for 2 weeks, I actually did finish the project. So this is less of a work in progress and more of a sneak peek. So I created this patchwork bag, and I have no idea when this is going to go live, you guys, because this is for spring. It is, oh, thank you very much. This is actually, like I said, it's a sneak peek. You guys aren't actually supposed to be seeing this yet. So eventually this will be published, but yes, this one's done. So that's now 3 of my spring designs out of the way. And my 4th and final one, which you guys have seen ad nauseum, is this is going to be a floral cardigan. Okay, this is the back of the cardigan. I think the last time I showed you this, I had got to right about here. So I know it doesn't look like I've progressed much, but I really have, because I had to go back, you guys, to make sure that all the instructions would be clear. I had to go back and I had to write everything up from here to here. And y'all, that took so much time, because I actually had to rework this a little bit, because if I can't rework it, oh, thank you. I love patchwork bags too. So if I can't rework it myself, then that means that you guys can't rework it. So I had to make sure that I was really putting this pattern together appropriately. So it did take some time to do the write-up, but hopefully this now means that I will have much more progress on this for you next week. All right. So that is my 4th and final spring project. I have begun my summer projects, okay? And I think last time I talked to you guys, last time I was on live, I was telling you that I wanted to do like a baseball tee, where I was gonna come to right about here in one color and then another color here, and maybe put some stripes on the arms here. So I have started. This is the lower half, obviously not done, okay? I did decide on am I upside down? I might be upside down. Hold on here. Yeah, here we go. I decided on the star stitch. This is a gorgeous stitch, you guys. I hope you guys can see that. Now, I have never used the star stitch before, but I have to tell you, I really, really, really like it. The only thing is it is a little bit dense. So I'm a little concerned that it's not going to give me that flow that I would really like with this. But the pattern is so lovely that I'm gonna kind of just plow on, and we'll just see what happens. The other thing about this is I feel like I've made it too wide, okay? I was gonna design this for my youngest daughter, who is a size small to medium, and then I wanted some ease to go with it, some positive ease to go with it, and I think I ended up making this more on the large medium size, which means, guys, that I might actually have to be the one that models this. So I've decided that if it ends up being that way, it's not going to be too much of a tragedy. You guys know that I do not like to be in front of the camera. I do not like to have my picture taken, but I am thinking that perhaps I can just cut my head out of the photos and maybe it'll be okay. So anyway, this could end up being on my daughter, could end up being on me. We'll just see how it shapes out. So that is my first summer project. My second one is really just an idea right now, but I have picked out the yarn. This is Chroma Fingering Weight in Pegasus. You guys, look at this yarn. I literally just fell in love with this colorway. It's bright, it's beautiful. This is going to be absolutely perfect for summer. And what I think I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make an asymmetrical shawl. Now, I've never made one before, so again, this is going to be a learning process, but I think it's going to end up looking really beautiful when it's done. So this will be the second project that you'll start seeing me work on. You'll hopefully see some progress on this next week. Okay, so next thing I usually do is events and promos, and if you can believe it or not, I have no events and promos going on right now. It's a shocker, because I usually have one going on every week. It's just a little bit of a lull right now because I am gearing up for a bunch of events in February, March, and April. So those all will be coming. So the only things I have for you right now are the You Decide, I Design. Week 7 polling results are out. I will put the link in the description, so you can go and take a look and see what the results for week 7 were, but there will be no 8-week vote yet, okay? The reason is that I am ordering the yarn for this project Once the yarn is in, I'm going to do up some swatches for you guys that I want you guys to take a look at and vote on what stitch we're going to start using. So that project is a little bit on hold right now, but don't worry, we're going to be progressing on it soon, okay? So the only other thing I have for you is that I did post a new post. It is a roundup, and if you don't know what that is, this is a collection of patterns by multiple designers, all generally with a theme. This one is for Valentine's Day, and every single one of the patterns are free. There are 24 free patterns, and they are all absolutely adorable. There are some plushy amigurumi patterns, there's beanie patterns, there's basic heart patterns. If you're looking for something for Valentine's Day, this is definitely a post that you're gonna want to go and see. I'll put the link in. Like I said, all the patterns are free, so that is out and ready for you guys to come and take a look at it and get going on some of your Valentine's Day projects. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys a little bit about project, yarn, crochet, tools, organization. Okay, now some of the tips I'm going to share with you, I am not currently employing myself right now. Just going to be honest. And here's the reason why, is that I have moved. If you guys know, I moved twice recently, so I've been around three different states, and I'm currently not, I'm most recently here in Arizona, and a lot of my stuff is still in boxes. My yarn is currently in tubs. This is a what not to do, by the way, guys. Okay, if you can avoid this, don't do it. This is not the best way to store your yarn. It is in tubs, and then I also have like plastic shelves where you can kind of pull them out, but the yarn is all stacked, okay? And this is really hard to get into. Number one, I can't see what I have, okay? Number two, I have to dig for what I want. This pulls the strands of the yarn out, it damages the yarn, it damages the labels, and then the yarn kind of, gets stuck out everywhere. When you go to push the drawers in, your yarn gets stuck in the drawers, and you're just asking for damage to your yarn, okay? So this is really a bad thing. Do not follow me on this one, okay? Do not put your yarn in containers or anything like what I am doing currently, because I have nowhere else to put my yarn, okay? Find something else. All right, so what I do recommend is if you can get the cubbies, if you know what I'm talking about, they're these like square cubbies. Sometimes they come like as shelving units, like 3 or 6 in a row or something like that. And what you want is, and I'm gonna actually show you something else. So if you don't have a cubby, you can use crates like these. So 2 states ago, when we lived in Washington, we had a really big farmhouse, and I had a massive craft room upstairs, and my husband along one of the huge walls put up a ton of these, and he mounted them to the walls. He did a big design where I had some vertical, some were horizontal. So these work great as a substitute if you can't find the cubbies. And the whole point is you want your yarn to be covered on at least the 2 sides, the top, the bottom, and the back, if possible, even if the back ends up being the wall. The only one that you may want to leave open is the front, okay? This protects your yarn on all sides. Ideally, if you could get like a glass enclosure that goes over the front. Some people have big cabinetry to where they have like an armoire. And yeah, he's an amazing guy, by the way. But if you can get like one of those nice big armoires where, they have the glass enclosure on front, that's really the best way that you can go, because then your yarn is completely protected all the way around. The point of wanting either the front open or having glass on the front is that you want to be able to easily see where your yarn is. You want to be able to easily tally what your yarn stash is, where your particular brand is, where your colors are. You don't want to be digging for them and damaging your yarn. I can't, like I said, as of right now, I can't look at my containers and tell you what I have in there, whereas if I had this set up again, I actually would be able to. And when I put my yarn in the cubbies or the crates or whatever, I always color code them, and I work only with a few brands personally, and this is, that's of course entirely up to you, but I also try to organize it by brand, okay? So I really think that is the best way to organize your yarn stash. Okay, so the other thing is works in progress, okay? So for every work in progress that I have either a bag or a basket for that specific project, okay? This keeps them nice and clean. So usually what goes in here is the work in progress itself and the hook, okay? And if I have to go anywhere, I can just grab it, okay? So this is how I store my works in progress. And actually there's a couple other things I keep in here, and I'm gonna go into that too. So, but bags or baskets like this that have a handle that I can just grab and go, these are how I keep my works in progress clean, and how I keep them organized. The other things that I will do, especially when I have to leave, I will pull from this thing here. Y'all, this is absolutely my favorite thing. Okay, this is a Molly Ollie bag, and you guys are gonna laugh. This was actually designed as a diaper carrier, okay? But I use it for my craft supplies, and I have this side open because I just wanted to tell you what I have in here. So on this side here, I keep my measuring tapes, I keep my extra scissors. This is where I keep majority of my crochet tools because it's easily accessible, it keeps them organized. This thing, okay, I had 3 bags before I got this one, and they all kind of flump in on each other. They don't hold their shape, and it's really hard to get into. It's really hard to keep organized. This keeps its shape. I keep my wheat crochet hooks over here. These are all my Furls crochet hooks. So all my expensive, nice things I definitely keep in my Molly Ollie bag. I will keep yarn, okay, especially my hand-dyed yarn. If I'm working on some hand-dyed yarn or projects, I will keep them in here, okay? And then for my tools, I'm gonna put this down real quick. I keep my little tools in here too. And this is my tip for the little tools. It's little containers, okay? This right here is my stitch markers. These are all my different little eyeballs for my amigurumi projects. And this is my little container for my tapestry needles, okay? So that's my tip for your small little bits and bobs, is to make sure you have little containers to organize them. And then they can all go into your big organizer like this, okay? So now if I have to travel or I'm working on a project and I have to run, what I will do is I will grab my bag or basket that has my work in progress. It usually already has my work in progress, my extra yarn, my hook. I will grab whatever I need out of here. Like I'll usually grab my tapestry needles. I'll grab a pair of embroidery scissors. If I need stitch markers, I'll grab those. I throw everything in the bag. The only other thing that I have in here, which is another one of my organization tips, is to have a crochet journal, okay? This one is a free one. You can get it from me. You do have to subscribe to my email list, but it's a 1-page, it's an abbreviated one. It has everything that you need on here to keep your projects organized. It's got all your pattern info, your project, the day you started, the day you finished. You have a place to put your photo. You have a place to put your yarn sample. You have, you know, your yarn brand, your yarn weight, your color, yardage, fiber content. You can even tell where you got it from, how much you paid for it, hook used, your gauge, finished dimensions. Absolutely everything that you need is really on this one sheet. You just print it out, put it in your work in progress bag or basket, and it's all, everything is there. It's all contained and it's all ready to go. So that's it. That's what I do. Those are my top 5 favorite tips for keeping everything related to my crochet organized, whether it's my small tools, my yarn, my works in progress. These are the things that I do, with the exception of keeping my cubbies, because I don't have any cubbies right now. But once I do get a craft room and get my craft space really organized, I will go back to having my organized cubbies. But there you have it, my top 5 tips for keeping your projects organized. Thank you so much for joining me in today's live. I do plan to be back next week. I am thinking about doing the star stitch tutorial. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in, or if you would prefer to see something else next week. But that is what I'm thinking at this point, because I really do want to do a practice run for a YouTube video that I do want to have attached with that baseball tee project that I'm doing for the summer. So again, thank you all for joining me. I'll see you next week, and have a nice day.